Okay. Just confirming. Okay, Nick says yes, Sharina says yes, Tanisha says yes, and that's quorum. All right, guys. I know one of your answers to this question. Do you know who Alex Hormozi is? He is a very muscle-bound white man, business bro kind of guy. I just saw Alex Hormozi say something just now that is more applicable to every highly educated Black woman, every sandwich generation Indian woman, every high achieving woman of any type, every mom, every rich single mom, every eldest daughter, every neuro extraordinary woman, every woman with an autoimmune condition, any woman who identifies as an undermonetized genius. What Alex Hormozi, the most business broy of the business bros, just said is more applicable to every single one of us than it is to any of the business bros who follow him. Okay. And because my mission is your freedom, I'm going to say this from my own mouth because sometimes we like to shoot the messenger. So we might not be able to hear this from him. Okay. Before I say what I'm about to say, and it's going to ruffle some feathers, I need to just let you know why I am qualified to say this. Okay, I have been running a course and membership business since 2017. We have done multiple six figures or more in revenue every year since then. Before that, I started the content program that changed millions of people's lives at MyFitnessPal. In my 2 years as head of marketing, we grew from 45 million to 120 customers before we were acquired for $475 million, all powered by content. Before that, I ran the email program at Trulia.com. I had 11 million people every week come read my email newsletter that I personally wrote. And before that, I did what so many of us do, which is I just collected a bunch of degrees. I collected a master's degree in psychology with an emphasis in curriculum design, a law degree from UC Berkeley, as a single mom raising two little boys who are now grown up adults. So, in other words, I know my shit. I know my shit when it comes to building course and membership businesses powered by content. And what I'm going to tell you is that Hormozi is right. And we are setting our goals all wrong. How so? We are setting multiple goals. We are setting too many goals. Two is too many goals. We are setting multiple goals, and the reason we're doing it is because of our cog conditioning. That's what I call it, where we were trained to be good little cogs in the machine, productive, performing, right? Conforming, producing to prove ourselves, showing that we can do big things, hard things, lots of things, right? We do it because of that. And we do it also because our daily lives pull us in a million directions and have for so long that it feels more normal to be pulled in a lot of directions than it feels to be centered and focused. Okay. So when we do this, when we set goals from our conditioning and not from what is here, true for us, what matters the most to us, we do it at the cost of ruthlessly focusing on a single goal that would move the needle on the thing that matters the most to us. And then applying laser focus to the next building block of our own empire. And then the next. And then the next, right? So this is not me saying that we need to grind or go hard like the bros go, because that ain't my vibe. It's certainly not, it ain't why you're wanting to be in business. It's not particularly effective. Everyone you know is out here operating on adrenaline and cortisol, and they ain't doing nothing. So, what I am saying is that when we get lost in casting the beautiful vision in our beautiful minds at the cost of taking one laser focusing on one single priority, completing that, then making the executive decision about the natural next step, completing that, The only one who loses is us. All right. Now, this hits different in the minds of highly intelligent or highly achieving or recovering highly achieving women. And that's because the spirit of a woman, we embody creator energy. Okay. And that creator energy is not linear or logical by nature. Okay. But when we do that, when we're like, oh, I can see this big, beautiful vision, it can cause us to spiral into this like, it's kind of fun at first thinking, but then it becomes this like wild overthinking, and that becomes hindering. Because when we're like, here's the big vision, it's really easy to slip into thinking about here's all the things that I think I'm going to need to do the hardest possible way to get from here to the vision. And that starts to turn our own struggle switch on to doing what needs doing because we've turned our beautiful dream of a profitable business that would give us all the sovereignty and freedom and joy in our lives into a dementor, into a difficult, draining school project that we now hate. Have you ever heard of revenge bedtime procrastination? I'm going to check the chat. Great. Great. If you've ever heard of revenge bedtime procrastination, this is the phenomenon that this is what psychologists call it. When you want to go to bed on time, but you procrastinate because you've been reacting to everyone else's needs all day, right? High achieving women do revenge lifetime procrastination. Okay, that's where you want to create the life where you finally earn at the level of your genius, where you finally fulfill your dreams and share your story and share your vibe, but you procrastinate because you've been reacting to other people's needs and obligations, maybe for like a lifetime. Okay, now with women like us, this idea of procrastination or avoidance usually doesn't look like it looks for other people. It doesn't look like laziness. Okay. Our procrastination looks like work. When we're procrastinating on our number one priority, dream, or goal, we tend to work more. We just go really hard on the exact wrong shit, right? So I see people creating crises in all kinds of areas of their lives or at their day job. So they have to work really hard and can't, and by so doing, avoid working on their own thing. Or in the course business, people start building out course businesses before they've ever sold a single unit. They're trying to get monetized on YouTube before they have a product to sell. They're working on 5 business ideas at once or redesigning their logo for the 17th time. It's not that you don't do anything. It's that you avoid the big success you could have on this main thing by working on a bunch of stuff at once that just never gets done that well. And the other side effect of this is that then you always feel busy, you always feel tired. Nothing really has a chance to get good traction or escape velocity. Okay. So there is a saying. I loved it and heard it first from Ram Dass. Ram Dass heard it from Joseph Campbell. The saying goes, where you stumble, there lies your treasure. Okay. I say, where you avoid, there lies your treasure. Right. So if you have long lists of what you think you need to be doing in your business, but you're avoiding picking one project to laser focus on, all of these open loops will siphon off your life force. Okay. And I know this from very personal experience because in my own business, I have a history of doing the hard work and finding I will do the hardest things. I'm recovering from an addiction to doing things the hardest way possible. Okay, so it's easy for me to do the hard things, but I find it much more difficult to focus on the things that would send a ton of traffic or a ton of revenue to my business. And that's okay. Something I want to name is that, my business model is called Empires of the Soul. It's all about how to get paid through a course or membership business for being yourself. But that doesn't mean that you're going to love every piece of building a beautiful business equally. There's going to be some stuff that you have to do along the way of building it that's not your favorite stuff to do. Okay. So you have to dig deep, tap into your life force. This is just spiritual maturity. Close your open loops and then refocus and recommit to refocus every damn day so you can do the right things, but not in the wrong order, in the right order. Now, in the Hormozi video I'm reacting to, he said, if you're a small business owner, you are so resource constrained, you cannot be effective trying to spread your resources across a bunch of different goals. Now, ladies, if this 30-something-year-old white man with no kids, a massive team, and hundreds of millions of dollars says he can't focus across a bunch of different goals, we have no business thinking we can. When our lives already are dispersing our energy and focus and pulling us in a million different directions. Okay. So this is, but here's where people like get this wrong. This is not about a victim narrative. This is not a reason for us to give up and say it's not available to us to have this kind of a business. I think the opposite is true. When you have a day job, you have a partner, you have kids, maybe they have high needs, you have a household to run, you have a body or a brain that also has high needs and requires extraordinary care. The most self-valuing gift you can give yourself is to lean into the course or membership business model, but you absolutely cannot afford to scatter your energy and focus and attention in the time that you do have for your business. You got to be extra strategic and extra surgical with your time. I'm never going to be the one that says that we got to go outwork everybody else. Ain't nobody got time for that, okay? But you do have to focus. You must become extra strategic and super surgical with your time. I don't even want to say like be the light. I want to say be the laser. Be the laser. This is why it behooves you to become ruthlessly self-centered. I'm going to talk about this so much in the coming days. I want you to become self-valuing, self-aware, self-determined, and laser focused in the time that you do have to work on your business. Not meaning you won't be able to do any of your ideas, although let's be real, y'all, you are going to have 1,000 times more ideas in your life than you're ever going to be able to execute in the hours of your life. Okay. So spiritual maturity is acknowledging that, maybe creating an ideas file where you can capture that stuff, maybe printing that stuff out, burning it. No, I don't know. Burning it, grieving it, mourning it, doing what you got to do. But also realizing that if you did a couple of things really, really well and became masterful at them, you would free up your entire life. Okay. Now, I just need to add this one little quick thing, and then I'm going to talk about when you focus, and then I'm going to give you some ideas for how to know what to focus on. Okay. So, this idea of time management or productivity, that we need to be wildly productive, which is, that's the feeling you're going to feel when you start to focus. You're going to get this feeling like, oh, I need to, do more. It seems odd that I'm not doing more. Time management and productivity culture has its roots in enslavement. Okay. The first time management planner ever was literally a book that was published by overseers on the plantations, where they would track each enslaved human being's output of cotton picked to decide who needed to be punished into picking more. And that madness got internalized into corporate culture and into the nervous systems of anyone who has ever been groomed for corporate culture, which is basically anyone who went to school ever in the United States in particular. But let me tell you this, and I know some of you are like, but that's how I discipline myself, and that's how no. Because what worked for forced labor will absolutely not work when what you're trying to build is an empire of liberation and transformation for you and for your people. You cannot get to freedom through captivity. It doesn't work. You have to let that way die. I'm not exaggerating. Audre Lorde said, I think in the 70s, you cannot destroy the master's house with the master's tools. And what I'm telling you is you should expect that if you get as focused as you need to be in the coming season, I don't mean January, I mean now, it will feel very untethering if you're doing this right. It will feel like God, the goddess, source, spirit, and all that is picked you up off the map and dropped you in a foreign land where you don't really know how to operate, but you're going to learn. You've been on a treadmill checking off the boxes that somebody else calls success your whole life. So when you try to leave that behind and build your own thing, it is untethering. You're going to start out trying to do superhuman amounts of stuff because that's what has gotten you, everything you've gotten in your life before now. But the truth is that the worst financial decision I ever made was to work hard in my business when I first started it. It stopped me from focusing on building the big, beautiful, low hours, high impact, high income business I could have built years earlier. Okay. For that experience not to be wasted, I have to come tell you about it. This is what we do when we're in the course and membership business is we don't waste our experience. We know that what we've lived is just the curriculum. Okay. So now you don't have to spend 8 years and hundreds of thousands of dollars figuring that out. Now, even once you have that deconditioning done, even now for me, I live this beautiful life in Portugal. I dropped my daughter off at a school of 12 other neuro exceptional kids. Then I go get in the sauna and the cold plunge. I've been doing my deconditioning work for years. And just last week, in 1 week, I still found myself like working on my book project, thinking about a Substack, working on a podcast, restructuring my membership program, creating New Year's experiences, writing high ticket proposals, and planning a birthday party, having a dentist appointment, planning Christmas. Like, come on. I had to stop the madness. And this is me sharing this because only you can stop this madness. Ain't nobody out here going to come find you and make you focus on your business. Don't wait for that because it will never happen. This is the closest that you're ever going to get to that. So I know you think that you're doing something when you have all of these tabs open in your mind at once, but as empire builders, we must be more sophisticated in our thinking and our ways of being than that. This is chess, not checkers, okay? Like, yes, spirit is nonlinear. Synchronicities will accelerate you in divine timing if that benefits you. But everything in this universe has an activation sequence. There is a sequence that you kickstart that you must go through to build this kind of a thriving business. It starts with your commitment. The next steps emerge as you focus, right? Like, next step is tap into you and decide what your business will and not be based on in here, not based on out there. Audience comes last for this stage in my model. And actually, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to put the link to the Course and Membership Empires Business Blueprint in the video description of this video so you can get the blueprint and see what I'm talking about what the pillars are that you'll need to build to have a thriving course and membership business, and we'll start talking about what order in which you need to build them. What order do you need to focus on them, right? You first tap into you and build your signature system, make your decisions about what your business will and will not be. Then you design. The next thing to do is not to go make a bunch of YouTube videos. The next thing to do is to go design your product. The next thing to focus on is not go build a product. The next thing to focus on is launching it dirty until it's validated and putting them reps in until it's validated. The next thing to do is to build the program with real paying people. Okay. Then you create your YouTube channel, right? So there's an order of operations to this. And I want to challenge you with this question. What do you think would happen if you pulled your energy back from all the people and obligations and ideas and focused on this sequence for 1 year? I know what would happen. you would have a six-figure course or membership business with the systems built in to sell itself while you rest, while you travel with your kids, while you heal your body, while you just live your life. Okay? Here's where we need to have a heart to heart, because we have a golden window of opportunity, my friends. Now, I'm going to talk to several different groups within you really quickly here. Black women. Black women are the most educated and most underpaid demographic in the United States. We are incredibly entrepreneurial, and there's a reason they say the Black women will save us, because of what we offer the world in terms of our wisdom, our knowledge, our genius, our brilliance. Okay? Indian women. Indian women are among the most educated and highest earning in their day job lives, but y'all are definitely in that sandwich generation situation right now with some cultural dynamics that are really intense for you. At probably 4 out of 5 of the Indian women in my life, and there are many, have autoimmune conditions. Actually, which brings us to autoimmune women, neuro extraordinary women. Part of the reason I'm currently in remission from a 20-year autoimmune journey. Part of the reason we have these experiences is that our neurobiology, our biology, our spirituality is not of this world. We run an incredible amount of energy through our brains and our bodies. All of y'all women's, the neuro extraordinary, the autoimmune, the Indian, the Black, the moms of special needs kids, we know some shit. Y'all, we've been on some journeys. We figured out some stuff. I'm not telling you that I want you to, because I don't want you to. I don't want you to roll up your sleeves and dive into the chaos of the world and create calm, but we can be the spiritual grown-ups in a lot of rooms. We can bring order and be the mentor, that guide, provide the toolbox that people need. There's a reason people come to you for advice. It is our sacred contract. We will get y'all straight. And we have already thought through a better way to do whatever it is that you want to do. We can teach you how to do that. All right. I don't know if you guys have seen, there's this comedian on Instagram. His name, I think, is Ben Will, at Ben Will Detroit. Ben Will Detroit. And he does these like parody of a highly educated Black woman. And he'll just be like, tra la 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 la. Oh, I bumped my elbow. I'm going to go to medical school. The end. I mean, he has all of these. He's like, oh, my skin is dry today. I now have $1 million skincare line, right? I mean, that's how we operate. That is how we operate. And the online course business, the membership business, the mentorship business is where this exact skill set is highly valued. And this is a massively growing industry with a very low barrier to entry, zero cost of goods sold, other than like maybe payment processing fees, right? The online course industry grew by 900% between 2000 and 2020. 900%. All right. The global online course market is projected to reach $370 billion by 2026. 57 million people will be online taking online courses by the year 2027. And this business is special for another reason that I think is even more important, which is that it's totally possible to thrive in this business, even with kids, even with special needs kids, even if you're on the spectrum, even if you don't have sustainable physical energy because you have an autoimmune condition, or you're on the spectrum, or you have a high needs child or a high needs self, or just because you feel like rest is revolution, like the book says, and you don't want to work your heart out anymore, right? So yes, I wrote this book called The Transformational Consumer. I'll be issuing a trend report in the next week. But the only 2026 trend I really want you to hear as you step into your empire era is this: that in 2026, anything that is not aligned for you personally will not thrive. But what is aligned for you is going to take off, especially if you say yes to the adventure of turning your journey into your business. All right. So yeah, this is the best time in human history to create a course or membership business. The business is popping off. It has almost nothing to do with AI. It's really all about the fact that the technology has caught up and it's now giving us what we need. The marketplace behavior has caught up, and our understanding of how to create these products and sell them based on buyer psychology is on high. Okay. But to do this, you can't be the light, you got to be the laser. Can't be the light, got to be the laser. This is your big self era. You are a powerful creator. You stand on the brink of the empire that you were born to lead. Most women retreat at the brink of their breakthrough, and failure to focus is one of the main ways we retreat. So here's what I want you to do. Listen, I'm the queen of New Year. I'm like the OG New Year's leader. I don't even want I'm not even going to do a whole lot of visioning exercises or goal setting processes for this year. I want you to pick a priority and just pick it from in here. What is one single priority you're going to get super surgical in your focus on? You're not going to wait till January. You're going to start focusing now, and you're going to reorganize your energies, your calendar, your resources around this single thing. If you want a six-figure course or membership business, that should be the only priority you set. So start closing other tabs now. Start killing other projects now. Stop participating in stuff that's inconsistent with that now. Let them good student habits go right now. Make some commitments, some pre-decisions, some pre-allocations. And if you're not sure what your priority should be, I want you to ask yourself what you've been avoiding this year. Because where you avoid, right under that lies your treasure. Okay. Now, if you want my help making those decisions about what that I'm telling you need to focus on, what your business should be, what your subject should be, whether you should build a course, membership, or mentorship, exactly what to focus on first and next, step by step, I am about to launch a beautiful new thing. I'm calling it Course and Membership Empires of the Soul. And in this program, I'm guiding you through exactly what to focus on day by day to build a six-figure course or membership in 90 days. All right. Course and Membership Empires of the Soul. It's a business building program where high achieving women and recovering high achieving women turn your journey and your knowledge into a six-figure course or membership business and the full marketing system that sells it on autopilot, powered by the content you've always wanted to create, including the YouTube channel you've always thought you should have. So in 90 days together, you just make a series of guided decisions to choose the right business, and then you follow my aligned action sort of assignments to build it out. So you never have to reinvent the wheel. You never have to accidentally find yourself creating a business that's not profitable or that's not in alignment with your true self. Okay, I am going to release a founding member invitation in the next few days. The founding member price will save you hundreds of dollars. It will be the lowest ever investment point for this program, so do not miss it. I want you to do this for me. I want you to download the blueprint that I put in the video description below, and I'll send you a note when the new program is open and live for enrollment in just a few days. Okay. For those who are here live, someone said, yes, only you can stop the madness. I'm so glad you guys were able to stay here live with me. I love you. And I'll see you here a little more frequently. All right.